Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new, you haven't missed much, but make sure you do subscribe. Today is very special. Very special. Guys, this is the reason why I started the YouTube channel. The main idea was to invite people living with rare conditions to share their story. As you know, my name is Mmakola and I had a liver transplant back in 2013, but today is not about me, it's about this lovely lady sitting next to me, Lerato. Even the name says love. So I'm just going to give her some love. I'm going to let her introduce herself and we take it from there. Let her tell her story. Quite interesting, guys. Quite just in jail. Let me just hang on. Lerato is no. Let her introduce herself. Hi, Lerato.
Hi, it's been a very long time.
It's been.
I think around February or March, somewhere like that. But then it's good to see you again.
Same. So Lerato and I saw each other. I think the last time we saw each other was when we were both going for consultation. So we were both sick. So please, Lerato, tell us your story. Tell us who you are.
Who am I?
Yeah.
Like, you mean my condition and all of that?
From the beginning. So Lerato is not her condition. Let me fix that. Her name is Lerato. And let her tell her story.
Hi guys! I'm very excited to meet everyone, even though that I don't think you guys know me. My name is Lerato and I'm a liver failure survivor. I did my liver transplant on 10 August 2022. So recently I was turning like 2 years. It was such a very lovely experience, but then in some other way, like I had certain questions that I had in mind, but either way, like it's been like a journey and I'm very excited about, like, not really excited, but then I could say like I'm enjoying the journey because I feel like it's about the journey, like where you're ending and all of that. So yeah.
So Lerato, let's tell our people how different your liver transplant was compared to mine. Well, your liver failure, if I can put it that way. So I had hepatitis autoimmune, and that's how my liver failed. How did your liver fail?
You know, my story is very long. I think I'll just have to do it somewhere because it started back in 2019 when like I was losing a lot of weight and my stomach was big, and I even tried like a lot of time to exercise, but unfortunately nothing was happening. And you know what has me about this thing was that my parents actually thought I was pregnant. I was not even like having a boyfriend at the time, and the only thing that could actually come to my mind was pregnancy. I'm sure they were even like planning to buying like clothes and things like that.
I can imagine. So it was all the swelling.
Yeah, the swelling. I thought I don't know, they call it. I thought it's what, but then it was big. But then I had like a little bit of pain. That's why I decided to consult the doctor. And one of my friends told me, well, I think it's a very good idea to actually see the doctor because I've been saying, well, like maybe I just have a lot of fat and all of that. It's not really that serious. But then after what he said, because Lena, he was thinking, well, I'm actually pregnant. Actually, it had maybe I'm almost like 8 to due, like something like that. And even people, when they see me on the road, they'll ask me, when are you due? I mean, like, your pregnancy looks very big. And actually, honestly, I came to a point where I felt, I don't know, but then I felt insulted in some way. Like, imagine people always saying, well, like, you're pregnant while you're not. And there's no way that you can actually defend yourself.
It's never a good idea, guys. Regardless whether, don't assume just because you see the stomach. Do not assume that someone is pregnant.
So to pass that, then me and my mom went to this other doctor close to home. So the doctor didn't do some tests. When she saw me, she just made an assumption that my mind want to actually be pregnant.
So there is a condition like that.
I don't know, but then the doctor said there was a certain woman whereby she really wanted to be pregnant, so that's why the swelling started. So they gave me this other medication which I had to drink for 2 weeks. Imagine. Then after 2 weeks, nothing was happening, nothing was changing, nothing. Like nothing at all, nothing at all.
Hectic.
So yeah, my dad started to become worried. Then we went to this other doctor because we had to consult some after that. Then we went to this other doctor whereby he thought maybe I had a heart failure and something like that. I don't know how, but then he thought I had a heart failure. Then I did some tests, also you mentioned something earlier about hepatitis. What was
autoimmune?
It wasn't autoimmune. He mentioned something about the heart, or maybe the heart the heart is not pumping blood in its accurate way. That's why it tends to I become to swell and all of that. And when they do all those tests HIV and all of that, they didn't find anything.
Okay.
So.
And they still continued with the test?
No. We moved to that doctor and went to the other doctor. My mom, remember, there's actually this doctor who have been practicing for a very long time and practiced in different hospitals. So we went to him. So when we got there,
from one doctor to the other.
Yeah, this is the third doctor. Imagine.
Emotionally, emotionally, how did you feel though? Because I know
I was scared. I was scared of finding out what's happening with me, and also the fact that I might have a heart problem was actually devastating. Honestly,
true.
I don't want to lie. And when we went to the third doctor, he mentioned that he think I have a liver problem. He asked me if I've been drinking a lot or something like that, and he also mentioned that most people usually he doesn't understand if it happens that I do have a liver or a kidney problem. He doesn't understand how come, because usually at my age, I was almost 25 at that age. So at that age, they don't expect someone like me to have such a condition. So from there we took blood and all of that, and also we went to this other place whereby we did X-ray. So the X-ray, that's where we I don't know, they just assume there's a liver condition. There was nothing ailing or something somewhere. There's actually a liver condition. That's why they sent me here.
Guys, I forgot to mention. So
no, I'm not talking about here where we are.
Okay.
There's 2 hospitals that I've been before I came.
I got too excited, guys. Only because we are back at what used to be our home. Well, still our baby's home. Let Lerato continue.
Yeah, so we went to this other doctor around Pretoria. So that is I missed this other part whereby the doctor that I went from the last time, he actually assisted me very much, because as I said, I was heavily pregnant. So he gave me certain medication telling where they actually relieved the water. I went to toilet a lot. The water they felt difficult in some sort. So I was feeling relieved, but at the same time it was very frustrating, because when I lose water, I also lose weight. I became more thin.
So what you had was a site, if I'm not mistaken, where literally the fluid, because your liver cleans your system, so the water was just storing in your body and had nowhere to go.
Yes.
And your stomach was swelling.
Yes, yeah, it was something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the doctor, that year was very frustrating, considering that when I was at varsity, my dad decided to cancel our medical aid because he thought that we were not sick, nothing was happening, so he canceled the medical aid. So we had to wait for a few months for approval before we start the procedure of going to see a specialist in Pretoria. So with God's grace, everything was finalized, and also that, then we went to that hospital. But then it was, even that hospital, I think I spent 2 years going to that hospital. Conclusion that they had in that hospital was that they're not the doctor there didn't specialize in a higher level whereby he can be able to do a transplant.
Okay.
But then at first he thought that I have I don't know, a lot happened, so don't mind me if I tend to forget certain things. A lot happened, so unfortunately I didn't have that. I also did a scan at first when I got to that hospital, then didn't find anything. But then after 3 months, like, I was experiencing a little pain, and like I was in a very extreme pain. So I had to go back again and find out what's happening.
So where were you experiencing? Sorry, I'm just going to go in the where were you experiencing pains, in case someone is also experiencing the same symptoms that you are having, so that they do not, please guys, do not self-diagnose yourself. Just go for consultation so that a professional.
But me, Mama, I think you should also understand, or as yourself, I think there was a time where you actually diagnose yourself and check the internet and check the Google and check all the symptoms and end up saying, oh, like, I actually don't have this. I just need to go to a doctor to confirm this.
That was me, and it didn't end well. So once you see the symptoms, please go see a professional medical doctor.
Yeah, so
I also want to check Lerato. Guys, Lerato came into my DMs 2022. 2022. When you came into...
It was 2022.
It was 2022. But now, when I saw it, I questioned myself. I checked yesterday, and I questioned myself, was it before? Because the message said, let me quickly go in, guys. Let me quickly go in. The message said, because I do not want to
sound like you're a liar.
Yes. And now people think that I'm making everything up. Yes. Yes. It was 2022, the 12th of April. She said, hey, I am inspired by your Leva story. You're such a strong person. Your story made me believe that I can also get better.
This was April, and I got my liver transplant in August, which means like your story, like, it actually has inspired me, like, to reach a level where I am now, meaning like at that time where I was very critical, I was very sick, looking at Mimo's story and everything, and what she has actually been through actually made me realize, no man, Lerato, you're not gonna die. There'll also be a time whereby, like, you'll also get your liver. I'm gonna get to that point whereby, like, where I am right before I got the liver, I used to be like a backup thing. So, like, I think when I wrote this message was after I got a backup, but then I was not selected, that the other person got. So I was kind of disappointed. But then I was telling myself, no, this is not your time, Lerato, just be patient.
Okay, take us a little bit. Take us a little bit.
But then I can't talk about that when I haven't.
Yeah, let's continue. Sorry, I came in. Yeah, I need you. So you were there by
the other hospital, the first hospital that I got when I got to Pretoria.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where the doctor was at a level.
Yeah, where you can do a transplant. So, but then that hospital was very challenging, because sometimes I could wake up at night because my bag was full. I had this other bag whereby it used to, like, store water. I don't know. I don't know if you are very familiar. Yeah.
They literally, like, put a tube in your. I don't know where yours was, but mine was, like, not far from the belly, and it just takes the small bag,
it was like here, like
the water
side.
out of
your system, and then the nurses had to come and actually measure the amount of water that comes out. So I was always calling them because it was getting full by the minute. So I was feeling like I'm disturbing them. So it was, I don't know, but then some of them, they didn't make me feel comfortable that you can call at any time. Like, sometimes I used to, like, take it out, and like and like it has like a thing whereby you can open and do it, but then they wanted the nurses to do it so that they can be able to actually measure. Where the doctor told me that's where I got diagnosed that I have a liver failure.
But
The way they diagnosed it wasn't that nice. I also didn't like that fact because they were like, I was alone at that time. My parents were not there. Like, they were just like, Lerato, the results are out. You have a liver failure survivor. You have a liver failure. You have cirrhosis, something like that. And there's nothing much we can do. But then we'll do some research on where you can actually go. So I was very traumatized. I spent the whole night crying, thinking, what, like, why is such a big thing happening to me? Because I also made research on why is liver cirrhosis. Then I realized, what, like, your liver is actually hard. Like, it actually, it at like the final stage where it can actually do anything. It can please and all those kind of things.
Do you know if, because I know there are like different types of liver failures, do you know if your liver was enlarging or it stopped growing and it just got hard?
I don't know what they told me, that my liver just got hardened. Yeah, that's that was the final stage.
And can we also clear that it wasn't okay before I say it?
And
do
it's
you know
also
the cause?
no. What I know is that they said what is autoimmune, so my body actually attacked the liver. I think it's similar to what
Yep.
you have. Yeah, something like that. So I even asked, God, what's the virus? But then I was not told, or like, how did the virus come into that? And also, I was not told. And even the internet couldn't even provide me such kind of
Information. So the difference between Lerato and myself, autoimmune, well, I don't think there was much of a difference because both our immune system attacked our liver as if it does not belong there. But Lerato has, as much as I have complications after, and probably it was during the process. So okay, and then after you were told that you had liver failure and the only way to survive is liver transplant, I take it.
Yeah, they told me that, and they also took me to another hospital close by around the road.
I think now by this time this is like your third or fourth hospital.
Yeah, but the hospital was very nice. They were like, the doctor, like, I wish I could find a way to actually talk to him again and actually thank him, because he's the one who actually gave my parents hope and actually made them understand like my condition, or like, if maybe I knew earlier, like, there wouldn't be a need for this liver transplant. Maybe there would be certain medication, but then unfortunately, because the liver works in its own way, you can only find out about certain things like that when it is like
At the end.
Yeah, at the end stage.
So your liver was critical at that time.
Yeah, it
Why
was
haven't
very
you reached
critical.
out to this doctor, if I may ask?
When I came here, I asked about him. They said I don't know him, and he's the one who actually like transferred me to here, where we are right now. Then I don't know why they don't know him. I also like ask a lot of people about him. I don't know.
Oh,
But then
okay.
I think I will go because it's around Pretoria. I know the hospital, so when I have time, I think I should actually go. The thing is that he's
Been
not
2 years.
always
Oh,
he's
okay.
always not there. So
Okay.
and people around that side, I don't think they will remember me.
It's
That's
not
the
even
thing.
about anyone remembering you, but having a conversation with a certain doctor just to say, you know what, I'm here. Remember when I was sick.
Yeah, and the doctor transferred me to here.
Where are we? Where's
So,
here?
obviously.
Oh,
This is
finally,
like our
I
home.
get to reveal where we are. We are at the Verts Donald Gordon Medical Center, where we both
Got our liver.
Yay! I only say this hospital is a hospital of miracles,
True that.
where you know you are going to get your second chance to live. So when you came here, please tell us.
When I came here, like, I was shocked on how fascinating the building looks, on how nice the people around here.
Does it look like a hospital one?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody is nice.
Exactly, and today when the person who dropped me was asking me, is this a school? I was like, no, this is not a school.
Yeah.
Like, she was actually thinking, what is the university kind of a record? No, I was like, this is a hospital.
I guess
That
again,
is a
the environment
hospital.
doesn't make you feel like you're sick.
Exactly, it doesn't really. And some people might think, well, you're at a like fancy place, because I remember there was a time whereby like my boss dropped me because I have certain
Complications.
complication, and then he was like, wow, is this the hospital?
The food is amazing. Sometimes when I'm home, I feel like maybe I
Can
need
I
like
get sick? Can I just get sick? No, a small,
Not can I get
no,
sick.
no, just a little bit of
But-
complication.
guys, we get a menu.
Exactly. They ask you, what do you want to
You
eat?
get to choose what you want to eat, and they've got flavors. The food have flavors, you know. This is one hospital where you feel like, yo, the food.
And I don't think ever since I came here I've ever missed home. Like especially if my parents are around. Like, the people here are very nice, and they make you feel like you can actually count them and actually say anything to them.
From the doctors to the nurses to the
Yeah.
helpers, guys,
Yeah,
they keep
and
our
also
room.
social worker.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, so when you came here, take us through you going on the wait list and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I came here, I was told that my doctor's gonna be that one, and I was like, wow, this is a gentleman. Like, I was like, wow, he's very handsome.
Our doctor.
Yeah, so yeah, we had a chat, and he asked me what happened between like until you got here, and I explained him my story and all of that, and was like, don't worry, we'll make sure that you're gonna be fine.
Before you continue, I think I am going to disclose our doctor because he is such an amazing man. I don't often tell him. We used to fight.
The same thing, like, you used to fight like a lot until I got my transplant. That's where things got better, because he thought I was very dumb. Like, there was a lot of toxic in my mind. It's only now we actually
That
getting
is
used. Like,
so him.
yeah.
So
It's
our
only-
doctor is Prof.
Mohammed.
Mohammed. We love you and thank you. So yeah, when we first met Prof. Mohammed, he took you through and let you know. I think same when I met him, because I was actually seen by another doctor and my transplant was done by another doctor. I got to meet him like later.
Oh, okay.
So same thing. We used to fight, but he promised me that I'm going to take care of you.
Then let me take you to the process of being on the list and
Yes.
what. And so I was told that, like, the certain process that you actually need to go through before they put you on the list. So remember, like, when I came here, they also admitted here because there were certain things that they actually wanted to do. For example, they needed to do blood tests again. Regardless of the blood test that I did, they still wanted to confirm and do
Yeah.
more blood tests. And I also needed to talk to the psychologist. The psychologist asked me certain questions, was like, why do you want to do a liver transplant? I was like, I feel like I haven't really like achieved certain things that I wanted to do. So getting another chance will be for me to actually explore into the kind of to explore and be at a certain level where I want to actually see myself. And also, I also need to also further my studies and all that. At that time, I was like doing honors, so I still need to pursue because I'm a researcher. So to continue more, it was very nice. It was very nice to talk to him. Then he also asked about my siblings, about my upbringing. Yeah, and that was that. And I also talked to the social worker, and the social worker also talked to my parents, where they try to understand me, and if whether like emotionally I'll be able to get the support that I actually need after the transplant is done. So yeah, I also went to see physiotherapist or something like that. So after that, they made a report whereby they confirmed that I'm actually emotionally and physically well to actually be able to be on the transplant list. That's why they put me.
Okay, can I jump in? So when you go to, before you do your liver transplant and post your liver transplant, you get to see a psychologist.
Yes.
A psychologist is to actually prepare you
Yes.
for the liver transplant if you are emotionally fit, like
Yes.
Lerato said. And you mentioned something, they also wanted to find who Lerato is through your parents. So do you have any siblings?
Yes, I'm still gonna get to that because the thing is that my siblings were very dedicated and committed in terms of donating for me part of their liver. But then there was a small issue in terms of that. My dad didn't want their kids to be in ICU. Like he didn't want that kind of, but then they didn't actually mind if whether they're gonna have a scar or something like that.
Yeah.
And that kind of gave me like hope that I actually have people who wouldn't mind to actually save me. So that was so amazing. So
That's the best feeling.
Yeah.
And I understand where the family came from. When you do adult to adult organ transplant, the risk are like 50-50, 50-60 of the person surviving and the other one not surviving, or both of you all not surviving.
But honestly, I feel like it would have been better if I get a liver from someone that I know, because I don't know, but it's not easy. Like I constantly ask myself for like what kind of person was this? I mean, if she or he experienced certain situation or certain bad things, how was she able to solve that kind of situation? But since I've did like a liver transplant, most people told me that I'm becoming a better person or something like that, more considerate. Not that like I was not a considerate person, like they say, like maybe it could be the fact that or like those toxins made like my personality change in a different way. I don't know. Only God knows.
Guys, when we're having this conversation, you remember you once called me, and Lerato, I think she was going through. She called me and she said she was going through some emotions, and I did explain to her, liver transplant, that liver and your liver, it has no link, guys, emotional link. It does not have emotional link. In case someone is waiting for a transplant and they're going through the same thing and they thinking that they might feel what the other person was feeling. No. To answer your question.
Okay, where were you
Your
again?
Siblings.
Oh yeah. Okay. As I said, I feel like it would have been better knowing who gave me the liver or something like that. But I'm not saying I'm not against like someone donating and all of that is a very good thing. But then it's much more simpler when you know who actually helped you. Because I feel like you guys will have a deeper connection. I've seen some stories whereby like the recipient and the donor actually meet and actually like give each other a hug and be like, I'm so grateful for this. I actually like would like to actually experience something like that, but unfortunately I knew what I was getting myself into before like I'd signed, or like there's not gonna be any disclosure of anything, so I understand that.
I can't believe I said earlier on to Lerato that we look alike. But I have found our differences.
Okay, what's our differences?
What you just said. So for me personally, I felt I didn't want a liver from someone that I know.
Oh, really?
For one condition.
Which is?
Because I felt like
you have siblings?
Yes, I do have siblings.
So you wouldn't want to have a liver?
No, my sister was willing to help, and I didn't want that to happen for your dad's same reasons.
Oh.
Because I didn't want anything to happen to my sister.
Oh, you're also hairy. I just noticed now.
We are very hairy.
Because like every time when I go to the like salon, they ask me, "Wow, what's this? Why do you have hair everywhere?"
Have you always been hairy?
No.
I almost said the medication, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's the cyclosporine. I've read about it.
Do you think it's the cyclo or the pred?
I'm not on that medication.
Okay, because I've always been a hairy person, but I think my medication also contributed.
Okay.
But back to why I didn't want my sister to help me, and because I just didn't want to feel anything. If anything was to happen, I didn't want to blame myself.
Oh, that's so
because
sweet.
she also had like a daughter, and the daughter was 5.
Okay.
So for her to lose a
that's
mother,
reasonable.
I was like, no.
That's reasonable.
So you see where we're different. But I also, like she said, we've got different reasons.
Yeah.
You wanted your siblings or someone you know because of your own reasons, which is completely fine.
It's also fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, to continue. Then after I was on the list, then they decided to give me this other medication. Yeah, I don't remember the name of it. But then what I can say with that medication actually helped me to actually survive. Because what do they call it? I don't know. We used to buy it around the street, but they even gave me like a prescription. But then the medication was expensive. Like the one that could last for a month, it was like 1.5.
I think I know the medication.
I don't know, but then the medication actually
one
like
pill would cost like $3.90 something.
Yeah, something like that. But then the medication actually helped. I think it cleansed my mind and also cleansed my body. Cause like after taking the medication, like I mean, not like my body came back, but then I felt a bit better. I felt like I was not really sick, but then yeah.
Were you also experiencing jaundice? Yellow eyes?
Yes, I had yellow eyes. My mom was like, I had yellow eyes since I was young, but then only to find out what, like, even though if I did, maybe I had this illness when I was still
when you were born.
When I was born, I don't know. But then my mom said the doctor said like I have like yellow eyes because I'm gonna have sort of like eye problem. That's what they said when I was So I don't know if there was misinterpretation.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, honestly.
So take us emotionally when you went on that wait list. What was going through your mind?
When I went to the wait list, one thing that came to my mind was like, I don't think there'll ever be a time whereby they'll call me and be like, Lerato, we have a liver for you. Because I've had a lot of stories. Oh, don't mind me, I read a lot of things, so I'm very familiar with a lot of things. If I'm experiencing a certain situation, I make sure I read certain article. I read and make sure that I'm very informed about my situation. For example, if you can call me at 3 a.m. and ask me certain things about my medication, I'm gonna tell you. There's no way. It's like my life.
Yeah, it has become part of you, literally.
Yeah, so go on, like, yeah, I thought maybe I was not gonna get like an organ because there's been like a lot of stories whereby there's sort of like a corruption in certain countries whereby like people that are actually selling the organs and people who actually deserve those organs, they're not actually getting it. But then when times goes on, I had a different thought because in 2021 they called me here. It was around COVID time. They said they have a liver for me. And unfortunately,
wait, I think I'm getting the years mixed. So 2021, didn't you do a liver transplant when did they find out that you're sick?
I was called in 2021, but then I had a COVID, so there was no way they can do a liver transplant if I have COVID. It was gonna be risky.
What year were you diagnosed?
I was diagnosed in 2019.
Oh, okay. I got the years wrong. That's why I wanted to clarify. Okay.
Yeah. So it was a very painful moment. Because, like, that liver was actually meant for me. I was not a backup at that time. And it was like for me, and I have to give it to someone else.
And go back on the wait list.
And and we have to leave and go and quarantine myself at home.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Guys, I would be so devastated. I would be so devastated, and I truly understand. Back then, back in 2020, 21, during COVID, no surgeries were done. And I remember I also had to go in for surgery, but it was done because it was a matter of life and death.
You know, my mom used to ask me, when are you very strong? How come COVID never scared you? Because then it was the second time I caught COVID. I caught COVID when I was at that other hospital. I went to quarantine before I left. I think maybe it's because of like we were staying like you know how hospital they are, like it was not a single room, so it was easy to actually get.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
The
something
COVID.
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
now you are told, Lerato, unfortunately,
yeah,
you need to give this liver to
because
someone.
you know, like during the process, whatever we have a liver for you, the first thing that you have to do is go there and do like liver
Compatibility test.
No, a swab whereby like
before they admit you.
before they admit you. So it was something like that. And we slept at the car because we don't actually have a relative close by, so we had to wait for the results to come.
But one thing that you keep on saying, and more than anything, guys, I'm also like a believer more than anything. When it's your time, it's your time. God's timing. God's timing.
After that, we went home and I had to quarantine myself. Then again, I keep on drinking all those medication that they're giving me, and I came back again in 2022. That was around February.
Okay.
And that's where like I was a backup. So unfortunately, everything went well. So there were no complications for that other person. A backup is when they here is a liver.
I was about to ask.
Okay.
No, what is a backup? Because
you've never experienced a backup.
No.
Really?
I literally
must
went
be
on the
lucky.
wait list. My sister was an option. My sister was found with anemic, and I had to go back on the wait list, and boom.
How you're lucky, because I've been like a backup like 3 times. Okay, let me say, like, here is the liver, and the liver, there's a certain hours long where it has to like it shouldn't pass those hours. So I'm not gonna go into details because I'm not really sure. But then you can do your own research.
Yeah.
So in case if there are complication and the liver doesn't actually feed onto you anymore, then they'll have to get someone else.
So basically, it goes back to the hospital doing compatibility test. If you are not compatible with the other person,
the thing is that they can do compatibility and everything might be fine, but then when they go to operate you, open you, and struggle to actually open you, and especially in terms of people who are very old, like they experience a lot of challenges when the liver comes. That's why they're saying like it's much easier when you are someone like me. When I say someone like you, when you are young and you've been drinking certain medication to ensure like your immune system is actually ready for such procedure. So let me say, this person have diabetes or maybe high blood pressure. So there is a risk. There's a certain level of risk whereby like this procedure might not go well. So that's why they tend to like call a backup in case if things doesn't go well.
Okay. Disclaimer, guys. Everything that we say here is from personal experiences. Yeah. So we're all different. We might experience different experiences. So yeah, just to disclaim, guys, everything that we say, we're not in medical field, but it's from a patient
point of view.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, then after that, I was once a backup. As I said, I've been a backup a lot of times, so I can't go through the same thing again. So I'm just gonna go through like the part
that was
where
your first one.
Yeah. Then I got a backup like 2 times in a year before I got the liver.
And then the period, how was the period? Because this happened in Feb. That was your first backup. And then you went on the wait list again.
No, they don't remove you at the waiting list. If you're getting a backup, which means you are
next
very
one.
close.
The
You are
next
very
one to
close.
come is...
Not that like you are. It depends also on those. I don't know what they call it. I'm sure you're very familiar with it, whereby you have a certain percentage, like okay,
Your M score.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
M
I
score.
think my M score was higher. That's why they were always like calling me as a backup. So, but then there came a point whereby they called me and be like, Lerato, we have a liver for you. And those backup was very frustrating to my dad, because imagine like traveling from Limpopo to here, only to find out that the liver is not actually gonna be yours. It's actually feed the other person. So, but actually, I feel like me as a person, actually, I've been privileged to have like parents like mine, because they've been very supportive. There's actually nothing that my dad wouldn't do for me.
A
Yeah,
superhero. Lerato's dad is a superhero.
Moving on to like when they called me.
Take us through. Now they called you for the second time. Lerato. We've got a liver for you.
I had a mixed feelings, honestly, because I didn't believe it. I mean, is this liver meant for me, really? Are you guys not gonna call me and be like, no, this is a backup, or no, we're just joking? But then I was very emotional, and my mom asked me about, like, you don't know that you don't really have to go through that if you don't want to. Like, it's not like you're gonna die. So if you feel like you're not ready, we might stop it and control like the if it comes at times whereby like we can indeed some other year. Because I feel like,
can I ask you before you continue, was your liver what's that word, responding to the medication that you are being given to as treatment while you're still on the...
unfortunately, that's what Prof thought it was gonna happen. Like, my med score didn't change, nothing didn't change.
Okay.
But then I think it was my blood pressure which changed, like it became normal in some sort of way, I don't know. But then nothing changed. The medication just made me to be stable.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to check. You?
I was home, like before we were like preparing to come here, because they said we should be here within an hour and do the thing again, whereby like before they admit me, they need to check if I don't have COVID. And we cross our hands and they're like, no, you don't have COVID.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, you don't have COVID. So yeah, then they admitted me. It was early in the morning, so the procedure took place around 5.
That is so weird, guys, because I got a call around 3 a.m. and my procedure was done, like I always said, in the a.m.
Oh, okay.
So I guess we are morning babies. Morning babies.
And after the transplant, I had some things in my face that I didn't understand. I thought I can't speak. I was very worried. And because, okay, for me, I don't know how other people's situation turned out. Because after getting in the morning, I was already up asking about my mom, because like my mom was not here when we got here. Like, I really wanted her to be here, because she sounded very, very worried. So I just wanted to ensure her like everything was just going to be fine. But then I had tubes, so I couldn't speak, but then I was able to write certain things. Yeah, so but then my dad was still here.
Superhero to the rescue. To the rescue. I love the relationship that you have with your family. I mean, your dad, more especially, your dad has been there from day one since you've been sick, during and after.
You know what's the first thing that my dad told me when I was like, felt like my world is coming down, when I felt like I was gonna die, My dad told me, there's no need for you to worry. We'll do everything that it takes for you to actually be well. So don't worry.
Fathers, guys.
That's why I always tell
Fathers.
people that I can't actually relate with people who talk like negative things about
Their father.
Yeah.
Guys, more than anything, we do not give fathers enough credit. Fathers will make sure. Also, fathers will come for their daughters.
Exactly.
They will come for their daughters, and that's what Lerato's father did, you know. But it is such a beautiful story. Now, this is after the transplant. Was everything good? No
Everything
complications?
was good. Okay, there was a little complication, but then it came after I got they gave me after I wake up, they gave me this other medication. I forgot the name of it. It didn't treat my body well, so that's where I got epilepsy. So I had a reaction whereby my body felt like I was losing out of control. I couldn't do anything. I was very restless that day. I couldn't sleep. But there were a very good nurses around there.
Was it still while you were still in hospital? Remember, I know that when post your transplant, you go into ICU, high care, and then what?
I think I was at high care. It's not high. Is it? Yeah, it was high care.
High care. So it happened all in high care.
Yeah, it wasn't in ICU.
How Lerato is just taking me back, and I'm putting myself in her position, because now and then I'm going to also be sharing my experiences for the other person or who could be going through the same thing. I was in hospital and I went from ICU to high care. And then what? And then I rejected medication. My body rejected medication, Prograf.
Exactly, it's
There
Prograf.
we go.
It's Prograf that actually made me to have epilepsy.
So she ended up with epilepsy. I lost my eyesight.
Hypo.
I remember lying there and I didn't see anything.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's another similarity we have, that our body actually didn't actually correspond with the issue of Prograf.
And
so what are you in right now?
I'm now taking cyclo. Is it cyclosporin?
Cyclosporin.
Yes, cyclosporin. Yes, which is I always call it the neural because it's easy. But when you do the test, you go for cyclosporin test. So yeah, hey guys, we're talking terms. You swear, we know our things. It's medication. It's medication. So now, how did they find out that you are epileptic? Is it epileptic?
I have two doctors. Our doctor and Dr. Kathan, who is Indian and a very nice man. So we went through certain tests with him. I think he's a neuro.
Yes.
So I constantly see him once in 6 months, whereby they check my brain. So they did these other things whereby they put tubes in my brain to check certain things in my brain, and they saw a bit of a disconnection. That's where they diagnosed me as having epilepsy.
So what I want to find out, Lerato, sorry to jump in, before they found out that you were epileptic, what happened? Did you fall? They did a test?
I don't know if you didn't hear me. I told you that I was in a point whereby
your body went into shock.
Into shock. So I collapsed.
On bed or?
Yes,
okay.
I collapsed. That's where they called the doctor and all of that.
Okay.
They did all those tests.
Okay.
Yes.
Makes sense. Because I was wondering if, because I know most of us, including myself, when we talk about epilepsy, people just fall. I've never heard of people having an episode where they're on bed.
Unfortunately, mine, it happened on bed. You understand what I'm saying?
Fits?
Yeah.
Do you have fits, or you just?
You mean
out?
No, mine. I think my epilepsy is different from the kind of epilepsy that people see. With I don't know, maybe it's because I'm constantly monitoring with certain medication, so it only happens once. That times whereby like I've never experienced any episode. I
Guys,
don't know.
you see why you should be tuned to this channel. Rare conditions like your epilepsy could be different to Lerato's, and this is where we get together and actually talk about these type of conditions.
Exactly.
So now, okay, they found out that you've got epilepsy, and now they're treating that. They're also
Yes.
treating. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Guys.
And you know what I don't like about the medication that they give me is that they kind of get you in a point of depression. So with that, you still have to continue taking those medication that actually help you in terms of your depression.
Okay, let's go into the detailing of the medication. How many pills were you taking?
I'm taking 2 in the morning. I'm taking 2 in the afternoon. So I've been taking like that same thing since 2022.
Since when you were still in.
Yeah, they've never decreased it.
Guys, Lerato is so lucky because I was taking
No,
21 pills.
I actually think God, like when I hear that, I don't know. I don't think what I'm like anymore. I don't think even God, like my story is even like fascinating the way yours is. Like I feel like when you went through so much, like you overcome so much. Like I feel for me everything I was just giving in a silver platter.
So I want to tell you,
I've never been in a point where I had to like drop certain medication. My dad was like, "No, you're not going to do that. Not what I'm like."
so from today, never ever think that your story is not as fascinating. I feel like everyone has a story to share, and their story is always important. There is no level of importance better. Even if someone fell and now they're in hospital, I still feel like we're still in the same
category.
We've got a different way of telling our story, and your story, mind you, I'm sure you've been telling your story, but this is the first time you tell it on my platform with me. We've met before, we've spoken, but we've never went into detail of the whole story.
Yeah, the whole story.
And it is so inspiring.
You think
and
so?
I'm learning so much from you.
Yeah, as I told you, we have different conditions.
We do,
Yes.
and we've got different story, but we all have a story to tell, which is the most important. So you taking 2 in the morning.
Yeah, 2 in the morning and 2 at night. And I'm also taking, it's not the only medication that I'm taking. I'm also taking high blood pressure. I'm also taking this other one, actually assisting the cyclosporine. And I'm also, it's a lot. I think all of them, it might be 8 or 7.
Okay, now we've cleared. And guys, Lerato also mentioned high blood pressure. So I want people to understand that these conditions are not whole, as people would think, just because I'm young, I might not have high blood pressure, I might not experience your cholesterol. They start at any age. What we need to take is that it's not even your fault. You don't even know why you are diagnosed with all these things. But I always say God will never give you something that you cannot handle. There we go.
I had a recent episode whereby let me start by saying when I got out of the hospital after my liver transplant, they told me that I'm supposed to have temperature, whereby I'm gonna monitor my temperature. I don't know, even a scan, just to check my weight and all of that, and also a lot of things I must continuously do just to ensure if there are certain symptoms that I have which are related to working organ failure, I might be able to spot them immediately and alert the doctor. So I recently, as I said, in February or March,
This year.
this year I felt very hot. I had a lot of pain like I don't remember, like I even during my transplant I didn't feel that pain. It was too much.
Where was the pain?
It was like close to the liver, kind of.
Oh, okay.
So I had to call the doctor and tell him, well, this is what I'm experiencing. I'm experiencing this extreme pain and my temperature is very high. So I'm concerned that I might be experiencing liver failure. So he told me, what did he tell me? He told me that I should go to the hospital and make tests. And at that time, I'm still in pain. So I'm like, okay, in the morning, I couldn't even wake up because the pain was just too much. So I called my boss. No, my boss is very nice. He's someone that I actually look up to. And yeah, I called him and I was like, can you please come and take me to the hospital? Because she doesn't live very far, but unfortunately he didn't answer the call. Then I called the other boss, he didn't answer the call. Then I called this other colleague of mine who also stayed close by. Then unfortunately he came very late and the ambulance came before him. The ambulance took long, I don't know why. But then my dad kept on calling. Oh, I already informed home what's happening so that they can get me an ambulance.
Okay.
So but then the ambulance came late. So when it came, they took me to Netcare Hospital. But when I got to Netcare Hospital, they were confused.
Oh dear.
And I was like, I'm a liver failure survivor. I'm chronic. So you guys must be whatever that you give me must be in line with my medication and all of that. And they were still confused. I don't think they have ever dealt with a patient who has like rare condition as us. I don't know. So the good thing is that Donald Gordon called me and told me that they got me a bed. I'm sure they were very relieved.
One thing about Donald Gordon, you will be a priority.
They were very relieved because they didn't know how to handle me. But the good thing that they did, they gave me some medication for like pain. My pain was still too much, but then it wasn't like that. Just to stabilize it. Then I came here, I did tests. There was nothing.
Was it on the day that we met?
No, it wasn't that day.
Okay. Okay.
And what did they say? Oh, they said that I ate something that actually made me to have an infection, so it was an infection.
Let me guess.
So I ate takeaway. I ate hot wings. So apparently I'm not supposed to eat takeaway. They say I can eat them, but not a lot. I must eat healthy.
Let's get on your diet.
The thing is that I live alone, so I don't always have the energy to cook. But recently I've been very dedicated in terms of cooking and in terms of making sure that I eat appropriate food and something like that. So I haven't experienced anything since then.
What are you not allowed to eat?
That's the thing. I've never had that conversation with my dentician. After the transplant, he just said I can eat anything.
Do you eat seafood?
That's the thing. I don't like.
Oh, you don't take takeaways most of the time.
No.
Oh, okay. Because I know I'm not allowed to eat seafood.
Alcohol.
Yes, I don't drink. We don't drink alcohol. Our meat needs to be well done because it carries bacteria if it's not well done.
Especially if it's what do they call it, steak.
Yes, yes. So, okay, now you've got an infection. Now they're dealing with the guys. One thing I will tell you guys, it doesn't end. it doesn't end. And now I think it becomes more severe when post the transplant because you need to take care of this precious gifts that you were given. Yesterday I've been thinking about this and I said, may I not forget. May I not forget. I know I named my liver Faith. Did you name your liver?
I did. My liver is Hope.
There we go. With faith and hope, That's all. That's all that you need, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all that you
hope.
need. So
Yeah.
hope. And hope has been taking care of you.
Exactly.
Look at you, like you're glowing. Like she is
and people when they meet me, they'll be like, "Lerato, you're glowing. What are you eating? What is your skin routine?" I can't be lying to people and be like, I do this and do this. It's just I honestly think it's the cyclosporine. That's what
Wait, Elena, I get that a lot. I don't have a. I'm telling everybody now, I do not have a skin routine.
Exactly.
I do not have a skin routine.
I think it's the kind of medication that we drink that actually make our skin and actually make our hair grow very fast.
I don't think it's the medication. I think it's the gift of life.
Oh, okay.
It's hope. Hope is making you glow. And because
that?
again you treating that liver well, it's doing the same to you. It's treating you well. It's it's payback. It's payback more than anything. More than anything.
There's something I want to talk about.
Okay.
I'm very grateful for this gift for my journey, but then in some sort I feel like I don't know, maybe that's what I've noticed in what you share most of the time. You don't speak about what we liver survivor go through each and every day. But then I believe that my the thing that I'm going through, they're not actually the same that you are going through.
Okay.
So all I can say is that I had a challenge. Okay, what do they call it? With I experienced a deep kind of level of depression.
Okay.
After doing transplant, but then it went away after I had a few sessions with the psychologist, with social worker, and then it got better. Cause I don't think it's only the medication that we drink, but how we perceive everything in life. Maybe it might actually be some of the things that maybe might be happening. Another thing is that after receiving an organ and living with an organ which is not yours, your life is never the same like before. There are certain things that you're not supposed to do. For example, let me say if I were I'm just giving it an example. If I used to be that girl who goes to club and things like that, and I used to drink and I used to smoke, those kind of things, I can't be surrounded by those kind of things. My body doesn't allow me. I might catch an infection in those kind of places, and I can't even drink alcohol.
Can I say something? And now this is me to Lerato message. And I think we have spoken before about the depression that you go post your liver transplant. One, I would say it's normal. It's normal. And like you said, I don't talk much about it. I've gone through it as well, and I'm not going to come to the platform and say, "Ooh, I'm strong." Guys, I also go through the downside where I just feel like, yo, this is where you actually step back and say, yes, I went through the most. And now all that time that you were trying to be strong for yourself, I think your body's just going into a lot would have happened, and again, it's you changing the way that you live, accepting things that you may never be the same again. And I think it's more of having the support around you that, hey, dude, you're not different. Yes, you're special, but it doesn't make you different from the others. More than anything, we're all human, and we are meant to experience the down where you're going through something and you're like, yo, I can't even ask my friend to hey, 1 2 3 1 2 3 because I told them yesterday that I was sick. Now I'm better. I used to go on and off. Mind you, I would go out with my friends. Hey, we're having a joy. I'm dancing. That night when I go home, they get a call or I've been hospitalized.
Exactly. That's why they're saying like your life actually changed.
Your life can change like this. You don't
Exactly.
even know when it's going to happen. You can't control it. I was in and out of hospital. At some point it was hard for me to even call my family and say I'm admitted, because
Yeah,
what
'cause
do
it's
you
too
mean?
much.
You
You were very fine a few minutes ago. Like, it doesn't make sense.
And then everything just changes like that, and you're like, what the hell happened? But because we always had people who show up for us, where the doctors are like, man, stop acting. You're not acting, but they're gonna tell you, stop acting, you know you're gonna be okay.
Exactly.
And then you get admitted the following day, you're feeling yourself. You feeling, so it's like this,
it's
guys.
like that.
It's literally like this. So it's okay, and I'm always a call away.
I know.
I'm always a call away.
I would like to ask you a question. You've been asking me a lot of questions. So, like, I've had this, like, for a couple of times, like, in my mind. Okay, let me start by, like trying to emphasize where this question coming by.
It must have context here.
Yeah, it sort of, like, have context. When I was feeling better and out of depression, I asked Prof, can I be able to have kids without any problem, things like that. Not that I want kids now, but then I will actually like to have kids of my own, like in another future.
Okay.
So he told me that for you to actually have kids, you need to plan. You need to come here. And I will actually...
Are you asking me a question or Prof?
No. I'm still going.
Okay.
I'm saying like there is a context.
Yes.
Then he told me that you need to come here so that I can show you how we're going to plan for this. So yeah, that was it. So my question for you is, don't you want to have a kid? Like, are you like, even if you want to have a kid, don't you like afraid? Cause there's some other situation whereby they're saying what like the child tend to become dysfunctional. I don't know if the right word to use. So like over like there's certain function within the body which doesn't function well.
Okay.
But then that one usually happen when you and your doctor didn't plan it.
Okay. So let me answer your question. One, and then I'll answer the question and then go into details. One, I'd love to have kids, but it's not something that I want to do like now. I always say me having kids, it's in God's plan. If God decides, okay, next year you are ready, I know, I'll know when I'm ready. And the same thing, and I'm glad that we have the same doctor, because the same advice that he gave you, the same thing he told me. You need to
you
plan.
Were also curious.
At one point, I was planning.
You don't tell.
Because I thought.
Yeah, same as me. I thought so, but unfortunately, I got the right context.
So, not that I thought, I couldn't. I thought I was at a point in my life where I wanted kids, and the best way to go is literally let your doctors know that this is your plan, and then he said to me, they need to remove you from
certain medication.
Yes, Cellcept, because one, the medication that we're having, or maybe you could be having a different medication. Yes. That medication will attack the baby.
But the name, I think, is unfamiliar. I don't know why, but okay, but go on.
Either the medication, so the medication won't be good on the baby. Also to keep in mind, because we are autoimmune, that our immune system attacked. It attacked our liver in the first place. The immune system might attack the baby, so we need to protect the baby and your body.
So which means that we'll have to continually go
so your gynae, so both your gynae and your liver transplant team, and then they will put you on a certain medication as well to make the baby grow fuller, in case you cannot make 9 months.
Okay.
So in future when I'm ready, that's the route and I'm happy to go through that whole thing. As much as there will be risks, where are we? Taking that, doing a liver transplant in the first place was a risk. I think it's more of trusting God.
You know why I'm asking this question? Because okay, I have someone that I'm dating. So the first thing that he's actually curious about if I can have kids. Apparently he's heard that people like me can't have kids. So we had this kind of conversation where I was like, even if I can't carry a baby, I'm willing to adopt. Yes. What is your input on adoption and AV and other things? Then he was like, no, he's not going to get into those kind of things. He's a very traditional man. So some men are like that. So I was like, brother, this is my health. I've went through different stages. So even if it happens that I don't have a kids, I don't have a problem with that. Like, the level of stages that I've went through before I even got here, they don't even like come close to having a kid. Not like I don't consider it as something, it is important, but then my life will come first.
Always. Like I unfortunately I do not have advice on relationships, but I would say if the person that you have understands and knows where you're coming from, relationship is about compromising. You know, it's them understanding the risks and what it means to you as well.
True.
If you don't understand, bye.
Exactly.
Bye. Guys, yes, it's been hectic, but it's been beautiful. I think more than anything, I am inspired by Lerato. I hope her story touches you as well and gives hope.
Exactly.
It gives hope. So Lerato,
yes.
One question before we close off. What is your message to someone who is waiting on a transplant? I'm going to say an organ transplant in general, because
you mean in terms of kidney?
Yes, from kidney to liver, any other organ.
My advice.
Yeah, what would you tell them? Let's create a scenario. Maybe it would be quicker. You've been invited by Post-transplant to go see a patient. This patient needs
Wait there. You know what I was saying? That I told Prof. Muhammad that I want to do. That I actually want to come here to the hospital when I have time, so that I can actually speak to those people who are in the process of donor. Like, actually, I don't know what happened to this idea. I think I lost of time because of things at work and also things like that. So we didn't actually go back when I was like very functional and all of that.
So because I'm doing that, or should I say I used to do that, as per request. I would get nurses to say there's a patient here and whatnot. Maybe when I do get a request, you'll be willing to come through.
Yes,
you don't stay far. Okay, we're gonna do that. I've been doing that.
You know, one thing about me is that I'm not going to lie to them, because I feel like in my current situation, like, they make it look like this is worse. Because when I was in that process, they told me that I might wake up within 2 or 5 days. And that is not the case. It depends on how your mind is, on how the level of state that you are at. So I'm not saying don't believe everything that the doctor is telling you, but then some certain things, they're just between you and God, and how God wants things to actually, like how God wants the outcomes to unfold. So take the risk, like go for it, but also bear in mind that there are also some consequences that you also going to come across, but then you will overcome it. If you can overcome having like what do they call this? You can overcome having, what do they call this?
scar?
A scar, then you can overcome anything. Because I believe that my scar is a symbolize that I'm a very strong woman and I'm very passionate about my journey, and I believe that I'm going very far.
Yeah. You heard it. Guys, when Lerato mentions, hey, I'm a talker. And I know maybe that's why Lerato was like, guys, why is Mima like this? Why is you? When I talk, I don't have a full stop. So she mentioned scars. Now something came to me as well. How does your scar look?
It looked the same as yours.
Because guys, at one point, and I don't know, for the longest time, I was a bit mad that my scar initially, when I was told it was going to be a Mercedes sign, it was literally going to be like this. And I wanted a Mercedes.
No, mine is like this. It's not a Mercedes.
Yeah,
no,
it's like this. It goes all the way. So every time I looked at my scar, I was like, but it's not a Mercedes.
It's not a Mercedes.
So I wanted a Mercedes sign.
Now you've been
I know it's weird. I know it's weird, but yeah. But guys, yo, this was beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you are going to take a lot from this, and I also encourage more people to come into my DM and let me know if you want to share your story.
Please come. We really need you.
Yeah, from everyone, like if you have a rare condition that you're living with, please come invite me. I'll come and then we have a chat. Okay?
Exactly.
Thanks from me and Lerato. Bye.